besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay? Right, like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, I mean, right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as...
Forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay.
All right. What day is it today? I'm going to say Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good one. Trying to do some things with my mic here to hopefully make things better. I do need to, let me expand a window real quick because I want to have my one chat screen and then have my other chat screen and then maybe move some stuff around. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you to all the new members. A lot of people have joined here recently. I really appreciate everybody that's a part of this experiment. Today was a pretty decent day. I think I made about 40,000, maybe more than that. I didn't look across all the accounts. A decent amount of that, as you can see here, is from Hood. It's really about Hood. Cypher did all right today too from the mining side. A little bit of MicroStrategy up 2%. Some miners did better than this, but that's the flow, man. Like Mara was up 8.3 today. And Cypher was up 1.78, Riot was up 1.58, and then a bunch of others were down. CLSK was flat. That is the way this is going to work. Money's going to slosh between them, but there's going to be outperformers, and my money is still on CleanSpark and Cypher to be outperformers, both from a business standpoint and price action overall. And then we'll have laggards that will catch up like Mara is doing today. All right, so PayPal took a little bit of hit, mostly short contracts. Yeah, it's all that January 2025 stuff. So it'll be nice as we go higher. I can unload some of that into the market and get rid of that supply while I make a little bit of money off of it. So that'll be good. And Matterport is my new one today. That was a member-only video that I brought out. I put about, looks like 45. I must have got some that closed here. So I put about 45K into that so far. So I guess that's a little over 1%, drifting towards like 1.3. 1.4%. All right, let me see. I got to line up things here, so I'll get my... Okay, so I got my chat up for the one side here, and then I've got my chat up for the other side, so I'm good. So jumping out of here. So again, I don't know if there's much more to see here. SoFi actually made some money today. That's nice. The calls must be performing. Don't hate that. That's a nice change, especially after what happened yesterday. And Tesla, again, up 1.26%. I love what's happening with that. We'll look at the stock in a little bit. But I expect that to keep going up unless we have some weird events. Like maybe Q1 is way worse than people expect. Everybody has such low expectations, though. I think a lot of it's probably going to be priced in, and then they're going to be looking for what happens next, and what happens next is going to be lower rates, and that's a positive. How do I access the member-only video? If you are a member, just click on videos, and you should see it in there. I also posted it to X, so if you look in X, you'll see Matterport, and you could click on it and open it since you're a member. All right, so again, this blurry stuff, that was the Matterport purchases. I also did get a little DLO today too. I'm just going to continue to slowly stack on that one. That's a little over 1% of my portfolio right now. And I bought some Palantir. I just did that so I can track the price better within my portfolio. And then I did pick up some actual shares in Tesla too, because my confidence just keeps growing, but I already have like over 330,000 in options. So I'm just buying stock with the rest, and then I'll do what I normally do. If the price does plummet for some reason in Q1 or in a week here when the numbers come out for recent deliveries and they suck and they're really bad, then that'll be something where I can use that stock, sell it, and then buy the options that are much more depreciated than the stock, because the options can move 2 to 3x. So again, I can just, without applying other capital, I can just take the capital I have that doesn't have a multiplier behind it, sell that, and then apply it into the multiplier on downside movements. It's like a way to buy the dip, right? Bonjour, Wild Frenchie. Love you, my friend. All right, so the heat map for today. I'm going to start using this one. I forgot that TradingView actually has heat maps. And for you people who use TradingView, they're awesome. You can get everything, every country, every type of commodity thing you can think of, every indice you can think of. You can just pop in here and pull up the heat map. And it's really handy because, like, if we look at Dow Jones Transportation today, does not look bad for the average there. We can look at industrial. We can look at utilities. We can look at everything across every index. They're just all U.S. companies and get a really good beat of where we're at. And this is way more real time because I pay to get like the stuff that comes up right away. So this is awesome. So we'll look at this from now on. And again, I just wanted to point that out. And also too, you can click on like by sector. So you can do this like right here too, where you group them by sector. So you can just get a better visual of like, is health services doing well today? Which one's more green? It looks like utilities did really well for the most part, right? So these are just tools at your disposal that can make life a little bit easier in TradingView. So I figured I'd share. Oh, I got to turn something on too. I turned this off. I got to probably make these into separate ones, but I got to turn my jar on and my viewer count. So hopefully those come back here soon. Let's see. Viewer count, you coming? Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right, all back. Anyway, I love that, so I wanted to share it. Looking at indices, the S&P had a good day, up 0.86%. That's probably a pretty good thing. Again, if we look back over here at the heat map, had a pretty decent day for large caps. Apple had a little bit of a rebound. Amazon and these others kind of meandered. So it wasn't a bad day from that front for the S&P for some of these larger ones. And if we look at the NASDAQ, it's up 0.4%. So the S&P actually did better and outperformed. But what I love right now in this environment, whether you made a lot of money because your stocks went up today or not, what I love is that the Russell, again, is testing up to its recent 52-week highs. This is what you want to see, guys. This is strong price action, and you want to see it outperform these other indices, and we're seeing that. The dollar I'm not even showing because it was flat on the day. The oil, it was up, but you can see where the 100 is trying to push it down. I still think we're going to end up rolling over, despite what everybody thinks. I'm pretty sure I'll be proven right. All right, extreme greed. We're at greed still. Haven't moved at all. Boring. Move on. Economic data. Really had none today. Tomorrow we will have some. We'll be going over... Actually, Germany has some too, which I'm interested in because Germany is like one of the biggest economies in Europe, so we want to know what's going on. They'll have retail sales. They'll have unemployment data. Canada will have some GDP stuff for February tomorrow. That'll be cool. But we'll have GDP growth rate, corporate profits, price index, jobless claims, PMI, pending home sales, consumer sentiment, unemployment rate. Or I'm sorry, nope, that's Japan. But that'll be cool too. But the big stuff is Friday. Core PCE and PCE. That's what the Fed cares about, right? Like it's this primary metric that he likes to look at. So we want to look at what Jerome's looking at. So we should see what that does. That should decide market sentiment. And if we see that, PCE is weak, like the price index is weak, I think that's going to be beneficial for markets. Couple Bitcoin things to talk about, and then I'll start going through my charts. I probably won't spend too much more time in news-related events unless you guys got something you want to talk about. But Hong Kong, a $5.9 billion Hong Kong asset manager, Value Partners, have applied for a Bitcoin spot ETF. There's actually quite a few that were already out there too. I don't remember if it was 7 or even more, but there's already a lot that are out there. And again, the Chinese need to have a way to try and get their money out of China. What's up, Jesse? Thank you, Motive Day. And okay, so next, yesterday, inflows started to pick up again. So again, we had almost a week, really a week, if you include weekends and stuff, where inflows were low for the Bitcoin ETFs, just because of broader market consensus, I think. And so that slowed things down. But now we're starting to see some momentum again, which should be interesting. I don't know if I have a lot more. Nah, not really. There's probably some other posts here I could go through, but I don't want to focus on that too much. We're going to jump in. So Bitcoin has fallen a little bit further here, so we could see weakness. Let me just change this red and move out a little bit. And also, global liquidity has contracted. I should actually show that. Let me see, is that global liquidity? It is not global liquidity, but I'll pull that up in a second here on my chart. So Bitcoin, if we look here, we'll do the daily. It's still pretty much on target for what I was talking about before, but we need to get back above the support line right here. The previous support line turned resistance line. Needs to be turned back into support again. I do believe that's what's going to happen. The volume profile seems to indicate that's what's going to happen. So we're looking for support right around the 69 range. We want to get above that, preferably up into 70, and then establish that. If we can do that by tomorrow here, if we get any kind of decent economic data out of what is coming out tomorrow, then I think we can break higher and test towards that 72 range. But I don't see us going low. If we go lower, maybe it's towards the 67 range, but I don't think it'll be for long. All right. And let me see here. What else? Oh, I was going to show global liquidity. Let me do that real quick. This is the Lynn Alden formula. There's a few ways to go about it. And again, Michael Howells is a guy I follow. This one doesn't update too often, but again, you can see where we kind of dipped. But the thing I love about this, and this is like including like central bank liquidity, it's some banking stuff. Again, China, Japan, Europe, all these major economies. And so you can see where it looks like it's finding support off previous levels before it goes higher. And history tells us that monetary spending by governments will go higher. And so I think we're looking just for another explosion upward. Hey, thanks, Pab. Appreciate you upgrading, man. Hopefully that's because I'm making you a lot of money. And there's some other liquidity formulas that I'll probably pull up too. Also, I subscribe to Substack, Capital Wars. This is Michael Howell. He's brilliant. He had another one that just came out 8 hours ago. I haven't seen this yet. Maybe we can quickly glance through this. I don't want to show too much of his proprietary info, but it looks like he's talking about how monetary hedges, gold and Bitcoin, and global liquidity. So he's doing crypto plus gold and global liquidity and showing the levels throughout the years. This is a very long time frame. But again, global liquidity, let me see, he's got capital flows. Let me see if he's got, yeah, so again, we saw a little bit of a retracement. This is his like weekly, or I should say long-term trend, world global liquidity, like central bank global liquidity. And you can see how it operates in these cycles where we have a peak and then a trough and a peak and a trough. And these are about 5 years apart. And we clearly had, like, again, very close to accuracy for timing. We had our trough, we had our peak, we had our trough, and we've had a slight retracement. But again, going into like 2026 into 2025, we should be seeing, if this plays out to be correct, and if you look through history, going back to the 70s, this is pretty freaking accurate. And again, everything aligns with this too. It's not just the fact that the chart looks interesting and it looks very compelling, but it's the fact that the macro environment behind it lines up with this really well too, that make it so convincing. Anyway, so let's look at Hood. Let's do some Hooding. I'm very happy with Hood today. Again, it did really well in after hours last night and then into pre-market. I won't rehash all the details. I made a video about it with Tanner. So watch that, where we were watching the event and watching Amit and his crazy hair, watching the event. And it was a cool time, and he did a really great job. And it's awesome to know that he's a part of this community and that he's getting to such heights. I look forward to seeing a lot more. But Hood crushed it yesterday. To keep it brief, I mean, the card is great. The 1% match on any account type, not IRA, but any account with a gold membership is just so sick. You get 5% on your cash. You get 3% on IRA rollovers and contributions. It's a no-brainer to put money into Robinhood, I think, right now. That's what they're working towards. And then again, you have like, what was it, 2.25 million in FDIC insurance because they pool, just like SoFi and many others do nowadays. So, and then the card is slick, and the fact that they're updating the app to make it more customizable to where you could have it like widgets like an Android, that's just brilliant. There's nothing I didn't like about what they presented. It was all great. And if anything, I could see a lot of bitterness from SoFi holders. Don't get me wrong. I have over $200,000 in SoFi calls. I want SoFi to do great. But Hood took some sunshine away from them yesterday, man. And they really stepped up. Like, they set the bar high. And so SoFi's got to do the same. Anthony's a great guy. They've got a lot of great things. They're going to have to really get, like, focused on that app and the features they're deploying and being competitive with companies like Robinhood, because Robinhood is coming for people's lunch. Wish I wouldn't have sold so much of it, but I was up like 600% on some of these things. So it's like I got to take some money on it. But I've still got over $250,000 now, maybe more today, and calls. And so I'm still excited about the play, and I think it's going to be easy for us to go to 30, 33. And that could maybe get me well past 1,000% returns, and that'll be sweet, right? Like if I get 1,200% on 25% of my money, I'm not going to be crying at all. At all. All right, so speaking of SoFi, let's pull her up here. I got to remember to use that dot. It's just, old dogs. And I'm an old dog. Super old dog. All right, SoFi. So SoFi has had all these issues. Shorted to shit and back. What was it? The 28% short interest on SoFi? Stupid fucking numbers. It feels like it's hard to keep us under peak volumes, though, guys. It wants to break higher. And so I think SoFi's time is coming. The options today indicated that too, because despite the fact that Hood is such a great competitor and was up almost 4% today, SoFi options were turning higher. So that's cool. And then the stock was up 2.22%. So it's testing it, man. It's trying to come back, and I think it will. All right, let's go Square. I'm going to roll through things quickly here. Square still back testing this previous area. It has not cleanly defined that as support. It fell through this time. It fell through this time. It's trying to establish a base of support. And if you look real close here, it looks like it is, right? Like it looks like it tested right back to the support line. So I would expect it to find that. That's my take. Let's see here. Palantir had a tough day, 1.53% down, still finding support. But man, if this doesn't look like, if we go to the daily time frame, this starts to look a little like left shoulder, head, right shoulder-y, measured move down to like the 20, 21. There's 21, the fib starts to kick in. 20, we get really strong volume support. But then ultimate support is down here filling the daily gap around like the 19 range. I don't know if we'll ever even get that low. But if we get down to 21, I'm a buyer. And I bought like 50 shares today just so I could start tracking it. But again, this is one of the ones I told you I was going to be out of it. I will slowly start to add now, and then I'll really start to, if we got really big lows or I make too much money on Bitcoin or some of these fintechs like Hood or PayPal, then I'll start taking some of that money also and putting it into Palantir slowly and building up that position. Because you got to always think ahead, right? You're always looking out. You've got your where you are now. You've got your do I need to readjust anything? And most importantly, you've got your vision towards the future where you're trying to figure out where you want to be, right? And I know that Palantir is where I want to be in the future. I want more of that. All right, so what? DLO. Let me pull up DLO. DLO dropped today. Like I said, I bought some. I do like that it is nearing this green support line. Could go down a little bit further. If you draw this like all the way, then theoretically, this is what it starts to look like. So worst case, we start to see something like this where it's a falling broadening wedge, and maybe we could get down to like the 13s. I would probably increase my option positioning at 13s. At the very least, I'll be buying a decent amount of stock. And then eventually, again, if it keeps falling, the stock will be there to sell and then turn into options later, because that's how I roll. All right, Matterport. Let's pull that up. That's the one I made a video about today, right? I'm not going to talk about any of the content of the video or my due diligence, because I want people to at least be willing to pay $3 for this community to prosper. Because I need to get somebody to, I need to hire somebody eventually to help with the busy work. And they'll need an income. I don't think they'll do it for free. I need to start getting some short videos created, and I don't want to do them. It's just like the editing and like making some YouTube shorts with viral things that might attract people to the channel. The more money that comes into the channel, the cooler I can make it. And then, I mean, I would obviously financially benefit too, but that doesn't mean as much. I make a lot of money already, so I can easily. My recent history is clearing more than $1 million a year, so probably hoping for 3 this year, if not 4. So I don't really need the money, but it would be nice to have this channel at least be self-sustainable, and if I make some money off of it, cool. Anyway, holy shit, Matterport. Okay, so earlier when I posted the video, it was up about 4%, 3.75. I guess we closed up almost 8. Don't hate that. I don't know if a bunch of people started buying already today, but I can't imagine I have that influence on it. So that's interesting. But again, I'm not going to go into the due diligence. It's still down almost 95%. I think it's a great deal. And if you're a member, watch the video. Just do that. And again, I don't know that I'd touch options in this right now, because people will drive those up. But watch the video and what I got in at. And if you could get in at like a 0.25 or a 0.2 on the contracts, then they're more interesting. To me, at least. I paid 0.31, so I paid probably too much. But I don't like how easily I moved the price action, which is why I was warning people in the video, like maybe just do stock, because look at this. Just the mean reversion to the first fib line is a huge amount of money. It's a huge amount of money. Let me put this over here and save this. It's 420%. It was 450 earlier, so it's actually probably like 425, whatever, in the 420 range. So you're already missing some opportunity here just from what it was able to climb today with its almost 8% increase. That's really cool stuff. And again, just to show you what I have in this, and my contracts are already up, so I can see that some people went into this already. But again, I don't like, you shouldn't be paying the levels that I was paying here. You don't want to be paying that. So you don't want to pay 0.45 right now when I got in at 0.31. Again, I would like to get 0.25 or 0.2. So stick with stock maybe. That might be advisable. All right, let me see here. New member, go over. Yeah, I'll do MSTR. That's kind of next to my list. I go over all the stuff I own, really. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm in the crypto part of it right now. But I do that pretty much every time. It's just the ones that I don't own, or it doesn't hurt to throw it out there either way too. And thank you everybody that's joining. I can't believe how many, I think there's 930 members or something. It's mind-blowing the level of support you guys are giving. So I really, really appreciate it. MicroStrategy up 2.25 again. So the gist is we're probably going to grind up to 2,200, I believe, or 2,300, 22 to 2,300. And I think we could see that in as little as the next week or two. So if we get really good data on the PCE, shit, that probably comes real quick. That's my take. That's MSTR. All right, so let's look at some of the others. We'll go to the things I hold. If you guys want me to look at miners and other things that aren't a part of my portfolio, you'll need to ask. I might do this too. So I do have, again, there's just amazing views in TradingView, and so there's just some really cool stuff that you can do. So this I think is a day. Yeah, this is a day. So you can see Mara outperformed MicroStrategy next here, but I don't have all the miners in here. I might load them. ETH was the worst performer, down 8.74% today. Woof, that thing took it in the nuts. But I'll add more miners in here too, and I'll probably just display this in the future. But if you guys want me to pull up other things that aren't my normal list, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to pull up my stuff. So CleanSpark, again, took a hit. But again, it went up a huge amount. It went up from 14.96 up to 24 something. So when you get like a 75% increase in a very short period of time, it's going to trend for a little bit. Just chill. I'll do coin real quick while I'm here, and then I'll do Cypher, and then I'll do coin, because these are things I'm in. And then I'm going to go back to other people's list. Oh, I think I got Tesla, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. I think I got everything else I want to pay attention to. Oh, this is mind-numbing. I changed my mouse setting to not move on as many lines, and that's good for some things. It sucks for other things. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's do that. I want something better. All right, so Cypher mining, again, this is just really looking good on the weekly. It's establishing these higher levels. Or actually, I should look at daily because we haven't closed the weekly. So we can see that we're above this previous level, above peak volumes here on this little niche. I would like to close this week above 530. If we can close above 530, then we're going to run, I think, heading into next week, especially if we have a good PCE. Maybe by the end of the week even, we're at 6. I mean, that's how quickly. This is a tiny miner, guys. It's 1.58 billion market cap. It's like Bitfarm. Bitfarms is even tinier. Maybe it's like 800 million. So even if I don't like Bitfarms as much and don't hold it anymore, because it's a smaller cap, means it could drastically outperform. That's just how stuff works. So, and eventually, like, I don't like to shit on any of the miners. There's ones I like better. There's ones I'll talk shit about. But really, all boats will probably float, and then they'll just be ones that lag because they suck, or they're not as good, and then that will change, and they'll catch up. But I want to be in the leaders, right? Because then I can decide as I make shit tons of money in the leaders, hey, do I want to sell a little bit of this and bring them into some of these laggards, even if I think they suck more? Maybe I rotate into them after making just obscene returns when you do a comparison to, like, let's say a Cypher and a CleanSpark to some others like Bitfarms, or maybe let's say Mara lags for a long time. Even though I don't love it, it might be like a play where I can arbitrage a little bit in a way where I can move some money from one, capitalize off the other one in IRAs, of course, tax advantaged accounts, and then maybe move back to it. Instead of having to use cash or something like that, I could maybe use these as a multiplier to maximize my returns. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. Let's pull up coin. So you guys who follow me on YouTube, man, you get way more insight than people who just follow me on X. I don't think people realize that. Someday I hope to be able to stream from X, but they haven't even given me my subscriptions yet. So it's like hard to do, right? When they don't help you do it as much as I love them. But coin, yeah, so coin is back testing. We want to stay above this. It's back testing this fib, right? If it can stay above this fib on the week, then I think there's a good chance that we make an attempt towards 350. Of course, this has already run a decent amount, 700%, actually more than that. Let me draw down here. Let me get this chart clean. 712% from the bottom from the bear, basically, up to where it is now. So the underlying asset has to do better too. But I mean, we could turn that from 710 to 1,000% pretty quick. Let's look at the RSI though and see how oversold. Got some bearish divergence, right? Goes back a ways on the daily to November 2023. So we do have some bearish divergence. I imagine we probably see that on the weekly too. Yeah, we do. Around the same time frame. But with Bitcoin around this part of the cycle, it could just keep going. There's so many weird variables right now. But I look at it this way. If Bitcoin isn't running, I think my fintechs and small caps are going to run. And so I'll just take some of the money I make in asymmetric returns off of that and then put it into Bitcoin. Or maybe the narrative changes on Tesla and that starts to do really well. Whatever, since I'm doing multiple asymmetric bets, whatever sector is performing, whether it's fintech or whether it's like the AI automotive play with Tesla and energy play, or whether it's Bitcoin, like I'm just going to reallocate funds from my big winners to the other ones that are going to be amazing in the future and back and forth and rebalance. And then I've got a couple of these new ads like DLO and Matterport. So these stand a chance of being able to excel and outperform the rest. So it's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. All right, so let's get to requests. Logan, speaking facts again. That's your name. Hey, Jesse, thoughts on ticker Woof? Down 93% in the last 5 years. Last week, their CEO stepped down, and a former exec from Best Buy was appointed CEO. Maybe worth a small percentage option play. Yahoo Finance has a forward PE of 13, price to sales of 0.8. Stock has been brutalized. I'm trying to find short percentage on it, likely pretty high. I think we'll have to pull up visual stocks, man. Price to book of 4. Revenue has went from $4 billion to $6 billion in the past 3 years. $1 billion in total. Current assets versus $1 billion total current liabilities. Okay, so let's pull them up. I don't think I have this one, but I'll check. How's the sound, guys? Does it sound okay? I was trying to play it, tweak some of the sound, and I'm hoping I got it at a good level. Not too crazy. All right, woof. And then also, people shouldn't be having issues with ads coming up in the middle and being really loud and my volume being low. So hopefully all of this sounds good throughout. And if you're a picture-in-picture person, that should all be working too. I'll make slightly less in ad revenue, but I think I got it to where even if people don't have premium, everything is going to sound good and it's going to work the way they want it to. And that's our priority, right? All right, woof. Petco. Ah, okay. All right, I remember these guys. They were bleeders for a while. I see what you mean. Damn. All right, so real quickly, let's call this a bottom. I'm just going to do the fib retracement, and then we'll just shit the bed on this one. Just shit it. That, on a bright note, you don't really hit resistance here. If you can get above this volume support at 379, you don't really hit a strong level of resistance, like a little bit at 5, and then really it's back up here near the 100 moving average on the weekly. So you're going to have like the 50 and the 100, and the volumes kind of line up with that too. So if this thing did bounce, I mean, 850 maybe from like the $2-ish range where we're at now, that's interesting. But I don't know how Petco's doing. Let's look at, let's woof over here to Petco. Oh, such a bad joke. I'm such a dad sometimes. Sorry. Anyway, let's look at revenues. I do see the increase, not a huge amount, right? Like 6% year over year, a little bit slower as of recent years, since 2021. This is probably like a discretionary thing though. Wow, do you know what this massive net income, this like a one-time write-off or something? That looks painful. They're lowering debt. Expenses are going up along with their revenue. I kind of hate that. I hate that because like, you could see how revenue's going up a little bit more, but there could be some funniness in the accounting with that too. But expenses are going up too, and I really like it if those just are really far away from each other. Stock-based comp isn't too much their revenue. Institutional ownership jumped massively. I mean, doubled. So somebody's placing stakes here. I do love this. Look at that. Institutional ownership. But short interest is climbing. Don't love that. I love that the insiders though are trying to buy. Their estimates don't look great though. I mean, they're just not making money. How many billions is this? Oh, 558 million. So here's the deal. The forward PE is 13. It's not horrible. I would like just some hope that this goes higher. Might be a play, like you said, might be a play where if the economy is doing well, rates are dropping, we don't have high levels of unemployment. I don't know the demographic for the people that shop at Petco, so I'm at a disadvantage. Are the people that shop at Petco all income brackets where like 2/3 of them have a bunch of money? Or are they low income brackets where 50% or more of the people that shop there are still hurting because of the inflationary money printing and the fact that they didn't get any value because they didn't own assets? So I don't know how to gauge this. I would have to do more research to understand the demographic of the people that shop here to really give you a good answer. Could it be an asymmetric opportunity? Yes, it could. And you could take a shot in the dark, but I would want to know the demographic of the customers with these, and have they been negatively impacted, and would they be doing a lot better soon? Or are they, the 2/3 that have a decent amount of wealth, but they've just been a little cheap, and now they're going to start splurging at Petco once discretionary is a little bit better because everything looks great in the economy. So there's like a number of factors that need to fall in line for me to be interested in this one, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, let me sift down here. Oh God, there's so many. The only problem I have right now is there's so many people that have joined that I've got to find. Okay, there we go. Drunk Donkey, my favorite kind of donkey. Hey, Jesse, curious about your take on you. These guys. Everybody loves these guys. Everybody loves asking about these guys. Unity software, very beat up, right? Like it's very beat up. It's down 87%, and it just wicked down a while ago. It looks like it's starting to recover, but it's started wicking down even more. Can it go lower, though, is the question, right? That's the question we always want to find out. And then we have to look at the financials to be able to understand that. And the company is Software Applications, San Francisco, California, 15% short interest, decent amount, not a lot of retail, institutional. Revenues are up, though, but it's the net income that's just killer, just frightening. Even in a good quarter, it's negative $125 million. This is a $10 billion company that has more debt than they do assets. Oh, and look at this. God, Alejandro, you're just a bad mofo, man. He's got bonds and cash separated out here with different colors now, so they're more easily identifiable versus the debt. You just constantly make this better, dude. You need to set up some kind of affiliate thing so I can just talk about your product all the time and get rewarded because I love it. I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. And I make nothing off saying this, to be clear. All right, so shares sold, insider activity. I don't love, again, insiders are selling more than they're buying. That's not what we want to see, right? Like this is hopeful over here. This is less hopeful. Institutional ownership is kicking in. We don't have the data for the short interest. But look at this guide. Ooh, the guide sucks. So it's dropping in revenue, and then we're not getting better in EPS at all. So this is just not great for a $10 billion company. So I'm going to say no. And I'm going to try and memorize these so that I can just quickly say that, and so that we don't have to rehash ones where I already know the details of them. Tom Laniato. Hopefully I said that right. Hey, Jesse, I'm here in the lobby 45 minutes early to say thank you for everything as well as one request. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate that, Tom. All right, so I do believe I have DKNG. Is this DraftKings? I think we talked about it yesterday. We did. And so this has bounced up a lot. It's a $21 billion company. It was down to, in December of 2022, it was down in the $11 range, and it went up to almost 50. So you've had a really great turnaround in this one, right? But let's just look at this real quick here and see. I remember not being as impressed as some people. So I do like the revenue story, massive growth, 44% year over year. I like the fact this is trending in the right place for net income, right? Like all that's good. And their Q2, they're talking about being positive. I love that. But here's what I don't love. It's not the undiscovered story. That's what I want personally. Short interest has already dropped. Institutional ownership has been climbing. Insiders aren't buying back more of this, but they've ridden, 400% increase or something in this stock price over a period of a year and a half. So it's already done really well, and it's a $21 billion company that isn't profitable. So I just can't say yes. I'm going to say no. All right, I'm going to try and look back and forth. Did you go over Tesla? I think I did. Do you guys remember? I think I did. And you're welcome for the due diligence on Petco, Logan. And hi, Jesse. I'm happy to be a member. DKNG, please. I did that, so we're good there. Did I go over Tesla? Can somebody tell me? Did you see DKNG tanked due to NCAA looking into limit props betting? No, I didn't even know that. But again, I think this is incredibly overvalued. $21.5 billion for a company that isn't even making money yet is too much to me. And then if there's other concerns like that, that sounds even scarier. Pretty sure their SBC is insane. Yeah, it seems like it, right? They would be the company to do that. What was the number? No, it's not bad. Well, I mean, it's 9%. It is high. It used to be insane. 82%, 88% of revenue was going to them getting paid. So legit, it was really bad. Federal oversight. I don't think it will be an issue long term. Gamblers will gamble. Yeah. Government always tries to get involved with shit like that. I did PayPal already. Pretty sure I didn't do Tesla. What is my problem? Well, we're pulling it up, guys. I love my Tesla. I want my Cybertruck so bad. It hurts. I think about it every day. It's so sad. It's pathetic, I know. I normally don't care about objects at all. But I can't help but love Tesla and the Cybertruck so much. Originally, when I saw that thing, the day it was debuted, I looked at it and I sold all my fucking stock the next day. And I was pissed. I was pissed at Elon. I didn't even watch the video. I saw what it looked like and I just fucking shut it off because I was so pissed when I saw the stock price going down. I don't know that I've ever told anybody this. And I was just fucking mad. And then the next day at like 5 in the morning, I came back and I watched the video. And by the end of it, I pre-ordered one at like 5 a.m. And then I started buying the stock back again in pre-market. Even though it did tank, so I took my time doing it. So that actually turned out to be an all right play. But I was so pissed, and now I love it. It's funny how the human brain works over time, how much you can change the way you perceive the world. That's why you can't have too much conviction on that something isn't the future based upon the fact that it hasn't existed before, because your biases are so much worse than you believe. There's this thing in the sales world, you want touches, right? You want like 3 to 6 touches so that you can sell something. I remember that. I was never a salesperson, but I had to deal with them. And I had to support the products that they would sell to people that we couldn't do. So it was fun. Love-hate relationship with those guys. Fun to party with, though. The sales crew is always the best from my input. But what was I fucking talking about? I don't even know anymore. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. Tesla hit key resistance. I think it's going to break out. I'm looking for the 200 range at least. I think we could still just fully close this gap over at the 206 range too, before maybe having a retrace, right? Like get up here, maybe left shoulder, head, right shoulder, think about going up, or test down, break down one more time to test support on this downward trend line, find it on our second line, turn this green into support, go higher. I think it's one of those two. I don't think it's anything else but those two, and I'm prepared for both of them, and I think you should be too. Henry Padilla, hey Jesse, hope you're having a great day. Please have a look at Path. I can pull up Path. I think I've done this one a few times too, but I'm not going to call it out just yet. UiPath. Under key volumes here, but we'll see if it can break down. It could chop in here. It's a $13 billion company. Very important to realize that. And our estimates on this are to get positive, which is good. It's good. It's not bad. Cash position, like cash flows going up. Net income was positive this last time. It looks like we didn't dilute shares. A lot of this looks good. And this is a 31% growth company year over year. We're seeing obviously some seasonal quarterly stuff that happens in Q4 for their company. Really nice Q4. If that's an indication of what's to come going forward, then maybe we see, a good year. But it gets to the point to where it's like, okay, it's already a $13 billion company, and how much more is it going to go up? And it all depends upon their growth. And I don't know enough about UiPath to be able to tell you how much that's going to grow. All I can do is look at guidance here. And if their guidance is in line or a little bit better, it's still pretty premium valued for how much revenue they're going to have. Net income really needs to improve, because $34 million on a $13 billion company for one quarter is just not a lot. That's my bet on that one. It's just not a lot. And it's already kind of went up, right? It's already kind of been played pretty fairly. It was up to 28, and it slow here was like 10. So it's already had a pretty good run. And I think it could meander here for a while. Maybe like do a sideways chop like this. Maybe test down to here, and then maybe start curling up if performance is really good. That's my thought. Not that it has to play out that way, but I think that's the most probable from my thought process. Open. I think people got excited about the real estate sector and other companies that might be in it based upon my research for Matterport. And again, I real briefly, so me, Kevin was in that when he just didn't know anything about investing, and he was just like YOLOing into everything. He's new, man. He's young and he's new to the investment world. He made all of his money from real estate, so it was perfectly okay for him to get things wrong. And he was very wrong about OpenDoor and just a bunch of other stuff. But I think he's missing it now. I think this is the time to get excited about it. I don't know if he holds it. I don't really follow him. I like listening to him, what he has to say, but I don't pay attention to his investment advice and trades. But hopefully he's talking about it now, because I think that Matterport is a great one. Now, you could see, just interestingly enough here, so OpenDoor is $2 billion for its market cap. You can see where it trended up, finally got over peak volumes in this company's history. Lots of volume down here. This is basically the dump. And I don't have a MACD on here. Let me add that real quick. So, a couple things to note. Deep trough, less deep trough, less deep, less deep. So we're building bullish divergence that goes back to March of 2021 on the weekly time frame. And then we can also see bullish divergence here, right? This is the deepest level on December of 2022. Then higher, then higher. You can't see divergence. It's really convergence for this one. But again, going all the way back to here, you can see how we're starting to play out convergence and divergence on the MACD. And so I like that. But it's a $2 billion stock. And how well did they hit on earnings? More recently here, they're hitting expectations. That's all good. Let's look at what their finances look like. And we'll see if this is something I want to do more research on. This sucks. Look at this revenue. Fuck this shit. 13% short interest. Why wouldn't you? I don't know, man. A lot of share dilution. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say a lot. Share dilution, not making money. Are these guys going to make money? Their revenue's down 70%. What does OpenDoor actually do in the real estate services sector? Can somebody tell me that? I don't actually know. But again, maybe they're just dramatically impacted. But here's what I don't like. If it's just they're impacted and rates are going to make it better, why are their executives selling en masse for the last 2 years? Short interest is increasing. Institutional ownership started dropping. It started to rebound, and now it looks like it's going down again. Estimates are like a little bit better, but they're still not making money. Yeah, I'm not interested. But I like these ideas, guys. I like the fact that we're thinking about stuff like this. Patty, hey, Jesse, can you look at SG? Okay. I think I might have this one. Let's see. The more I build these up, and eventually, like I said, I'm going to add them on a website. Somebody gave me an idea for where to add these on a website, so I'm going to check into that. That way, every chart I pull up, I can just dump them in there. Or again, if I hire somebody, have them do that. So this is Sweetgreen Inc., and it's done really well. I'm not super interested in things that have done really well. I don't know if you're looking for a short opportunity, but I mean, this thing has went from, in March of 2023, a year ago, from $6 to $26 almost. So it's done really well. Let's just look it up, though. Huh. Massive loss in revenue. Then it started climbing out of it. It's a restaurant. $2.9 billion, but they can't make any money. And their stock has went up a bunch. Insiders are buying it. I mean, at least more than they were selling recently. I don't know enough about this company. If what they do is, it's a restaurant, though. So, like, it's seeing revenue growth. But it also almost died in 2020. What did it look like before? Oh, so, I mean, they almost died. This company has had some interesting times. In 2018, it had a cliff on revenue. And then if we drop into the quarterly, it had another cliff, obviously from the pandemic. I mean, that's understandable. But this company doesn't seem to be able to weather storms very well. Again, if it was just the pandemic, that would be one thing. But it also had this problem back here. And they're just starting to try and get profitable. And they're $3 billion. I don't know, man. I don't know a lot about the restaurant industry. How do I see the Matterport video? You should be able to go into videos. I mean, don't do it now. You should watch this. But you should be able to just click on videos, and then you should see it. It'll be Matterport, or you could search. There's like a little magnifying glass search thing underneath my page. You should be able to click on that, and I put it in X. So if you go back a few posts in X, it's right there, and you should be able to click on it. As long as you remember, you can open it. I don't know if they have any weird lag delay thing where maybe it takes a day if you just signed up. I don't know how that works with YouTube, but as far as I know, you should just be able to do it. Angel, hi. Hey. Ivan, thanks for joining. So many members. El Mossy Racing. Yo, Jesse. Yep. What's up, bud? Adam, Albert. Whoa. I just zoomed ahead. Lost my place here. Let me get back. Can't do that. All right. Albert. Hey, Jesse. It's raining with new members. Congrats. Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, Jesse. Let's go. I'm the GOAT. Thank you. I appreciate you. James. Morning after. Okay. Dan 24 up. Getty. Take a look, please. I like the way you ask, my friend. I don't think I have that one, though. So let me see. Let's pull up Getty. Wow, dude, there's so many members. You guys are insane. I love it. All right, this has been down here for a while, dude. A while. That's insane. Weird chart. Weird chart. The tale of three worlds. Nothing, everything, crushing, continued pain and suffering. That is the history of this company. Up 7% today. It is a $1.72 billion company. Let's see how they do on earnings. They constantly disappoint you. But they didn't this time, for the first time ever. Interesting. Let's look up some finances here. See what we get. Let's go straight to estimates. So revenue isn't going anywhere. Less than 2% interest or short interest. Lots of debt. This is just a nothing company. Boring. I got nothing, man. They got to improve. David, I thought I was going to say Portnoy. Parketney. Hello. What's up, buddy? Jermaine Lambert, thoughts on CGC? I see massive volume come into it recently. Huh. Massive volume can be interesting. Let me see if I have that one. Did we just do that? Or no? Okay. That must have been a different one. So many ticker symbols. Make a copy. This is why it'll be good. Oh, Canopy Growth. Marijuana stock. I knew this sounded familiar. Boy, these guys are just shit, right? I mean, marijuana stocks. They've had a long, rough road. I don't know what's the news on marijuana stock. Is there anything interesting? I mean, this is a bottoming pattern. I'll give you that, right? You got bullish divergence here. You could see that this was coming. This is probably a good buy in the $4 range. Now it's doubled. Lots of volume. Love that. Okay, so here's something that you guys should understand. Volume marks peaks and troughs, right? See this peak in volume back here in the way back? If we go back here, you see how this just exponentially went higher back here? That was the peak, right? Now, for it to be able to bottom, you need to see volume that is much greater. So that was the peak right up here. Well, volume was pretty much consistent for a very long time, years, right? Boom. Look at this. Actually, this probably would have counted. Boom. Massive volume. Way bigger than volumes we had seen before. Way bigger. This was the bottom. And then this right here, we had this massive wick up. That was the top again. And then we've trended down here. Now we just had a massive piece of volume again. So this is our second bounce. This was the bottom. This was our next bottom. Confirmed by volumes. Very good find here. 32 fucking... excuse my French. 32% today. You should have told me about this one yesterday. I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. But seriously, Jermaine, come on, man. But let's look here. Yesterday would have been better, though. Because if I can't always guarantee that I'm going to see it, right? But that's pretty clear in my mind. So yesterday would have been great. Now, here's some interesting things. Revenue growth is still going down. What do estimates look like? Looks like we might have a slight recovery. But this company isn't really making money yet. And their cash pile has really went down. What is the shares outstanding? Did they do a massive stock reversal? Yeah, stock split, right? Must have been. Was this a stock split? Let me go back here. Yeah, okay, right here. Stock split. 1 to 10. Okay, that's that. All right, so we get this now. We get what happened here. Activity, we got insiders buying. Institutional ownership kind of going up. Short interest fell off a cliff at the end of 2023. But I don't know, is that like because of hope for some macro legislation to go through in Congress? Is this hoping Biden legalizes marijuana before the election? Like, I don't know, man. But it's a almost $1 billion company, and they can't make money, and they constantly disappoint on earnings. If anything, this might be a good short. Because fundamentally, I don't see what we had to look forward to based on their own guidance, right? I mean, if this could be a turnaround story, but we got to actually start making money because it's still an almost $2 billion company. So if you know that like the marijuana sector is going to get better, some legislation is going to get approved, throw that stuff out in the chat while I'm looking at these. Anybody, even if you're not the person who brought it up, if you have information that's valuable to the group, say something. And that way we can figure it out and figure out if it's something good. Maybe I'm missing stuff. I miss stuff. Adam Benji. Jesse, I know you were burnt out yesterday, so didn't get to my request. I had to pee. I wasn't lying. Definitely had to pee yesterday. I remember that. But I think I would have been okay if I wasn't going to piss my pants. But yes, I will get to yours today, my friend. MNMD. Okay, so I don't have it. Let's pull it up here. MNMD. But yeah, so I've got more stocks in the list that we've been looking at, both for short opportunities and for long, that I'll be continuing to do research on. I would like to make it a thing for members where I do 1 to 2 stock picks a month for short and long. And then these won't be things that I don't have the cojones to purchase. So if I'm not willing to put 0.5 to 1% of my assets into it, then I'm not going to touch it. And so it's got a high bar to pass for myself, right? And then the day I buy it, or at least I'll try and keep it within a day. I think this one was a few days with Matterport. I will post it to you guys right after I've done my due diligence and I purchased. And I will, for 1 month, I said in the video with Matterport, I've decided that now. Members will have access to my due diligence so that they don't have to rush to enter. And I'm going to try and do things where we're early. And when we've got those asymmetric returns, just like Matterport. And then I won't release it to the rest of the world. They might see it in the market recap, but they won't have the due diligence and they won't have the understanding and they won't be able to have the foundation that you guys will have. Because I want to benefit the people that support me. And that's the goal. We're going to support each other. Anyway, Mind Medicine. Okay. Is this... They don't make any money though. See, I like the concept of some of these, right? Mind Medicine. If this is yours, please let me know. I'll try not to shit on it too bad. I mean, I will probably shit on it because there's no revenue. But if you know stuff for why this is better, let me know. I just like companies that make money. Some money, at least. So they're burning 23 million a quarter-ish, 20 million, 30, 17, whatever. No revenue. They've got some runway. They got 100 million plus 14 and debt. So they got less than 10 months. They got 5 quarters. I'm sorry. I say months every once in a while. I got to stop that. And there's no hope. There's no hope for revenue here. They're buying their stock, so there's some belief. But the short interest has went up exponentially from like 7 to 15%. And institutional ownership is plummeting. If this is right, is there institutional ownership anymore? Alejandro, can you look at this one? It's weird that it stops in 2022. If you could just take a look at that if you're watching. I'll message you too. So cash flow is going more negative. Shares outstanding are going up from dilution. Yeah, okay, so 10% it says short interest over here. This is a really retail play, and yeah, no shit. Oh my God, is that real? There's no institutional ownership? Yeah, so I'd say no on this one. Fong Vu, weed companies are in the business of selling shares, not weeds. Yeah, I get that, dude. I think you're right, actually. I think you're right. All right, let me see here. Let me get back over. Been several years now. It seems to be coming to life. Yeah, I don't think it's coming to life. Again, Adam, you got to have revenue, bro. You got to, dude. And I don't want to just shit on this. I'm not trying to attack anybody's stuff, but I'm just going to tell you how I see it. And if your company's not making money and institutions are afraid to even own it, it's not fucking coming to life. Okay? Let's just be clear. It's not coming to life. WGMI, I have nothing to look at here. It was up 1.32%. It has some MicroStrategy and a bunch of the miners in it. So it's going to be a cumulative of, or an average of what they are. So there isn't much to put in here. Let me switch back. I want to make sure I save mind in the right place here because I didn't pull that up right. All right, so that's saved. So that's WGMI for who asked for it. For trade up, not down. And you wanted to look at Cypher. I already did that, so we're going to move on. Jermaine Lambert. How did I access the members only? I already said that. Adam, love you, bro. Hello. Dougie Fresh 69. Gotta love that name. Oil looking good. I don't think oil looks good. It might make people sad, but I don't think it looks good. I think it's gonna roll over. I mean, we did over here too, right? People got really excited about oil over here when I said it was gonna roll over. They got excited about oil right here when I said it was going to roll over. So like, again, I said it was going to roll over up here because it double topped. I said it was going to roll over here, and it did. Then people got excited about this, and then I said it was going to roll over once it got to about here and broke through the 100. And then it broke down again, and now I'm saying bear flag, and I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong. I can always be wrong. But yeah, I think that's what happens. Adam DeMonico. AI, if you could. I think I remember this stock, and I hate it. But I'll pull it up, just in case that's not. Is it C3 AI? Is that what we're talking about? C3 AI? Is that the one? I should have that in here somewhere, but I'm just going to make a copy. C3. If it's C3 AI, I hate it. I think it's like a fraudulent, shitty company. But that's just my opinion. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. I think it's a shit company. Let me show you. Anonymous. Thank you. I love it when somebody's name is anonymous and they give me $1. That's pretty cool. All right, so AI. Let's look at this shitty company that I hate. See if it still is. C3. Yeah, there we go. And I could be wrong. This is just my feelings from my memories. Doesn't necessarily a direct reflection of reality. Oh yeah, they are shit. Yep, I was right. So they lost $73 million last quarter. As their revenue grows, they continue to lose more money and their operating expenses go up. They still have negative cash flow. They're diluting shareholders. Their revenue is going to continue to climb. They say that their EPS guidance is going to get a lot better and they're going to get closer to more profitable. I don't trust them until they start proving it. They were buying shares heavily in 2022, and then they started selling in 2023, and then we saw them buying more than selling in late 2023. Institutional ownership has increased. That's probably just funds buying it. But again, expansion of expenses over revenue. Stock-based comp is 70%. So here's what they're doing. They're selling shares and losing tons of money while giving themselves a bunch of money, which is kind of like them saying, hey, fuck you, but give us money. And in the future, things will probably be better. But honestly, we're probably just going to steal your money. Now, without getting sued, that's probably where I'm going to stop. But yeah, not super impressed. Probably don't want to pull them up again. If they start making money and doing the shit that they keep claiming that they're going to do, and then great. Otherwise, I think they're just con artists. And I hate companies that take advantage of people. Any Rex for BTC cold storage wallet? I haven't looked at it. People ask me this question all the time. No. I have some cold storage wallets. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I think that's just for my own security. And I haven't done research in a while to see what really good ones are for newer ones. And even if I did, I don't think I'm going to tell you what I believe the best are in a standalone video. I might do it in a market recap because I don't want anybody thinking that I have it and that being a security concern for me. Again, cold storage, like the less people know, the better. As far as your own security. But yeah, I would do Google searches or YouTube searches. YouTube's probably your best bet. If I'd trust anybody, it'd probably be like James Invest Answers, and there's a few other people out there that give really good input. I would look towards people you really trust in the Bitcoin world. OPFI. OPFI. Let's look at them from the financial section since we're here. What's going on with too soon to comment on WeWoo? WeWoo. Sounds fun. Unless it's a Chinese company, in which case I don't give a shit and I'm not going to look it up. Because that's what I think of China. That's what I think of. That's what I think of the CCP. I should be clear. I actually love the Chinese people. I feel bad for them. They're some of the most persecuted people on earth. At the time of Mao murdered tens of millions of Chinese people. He was a horrible human being. If you don't understand the Cultural Revolution that occurred there, he made Adolf Hitler look like a nice guy. And I mean, obviously that's not true, but he murdered way more people, and they were his people. He just didn't give a fuck. And the Chinese people have never really had it great since. They had a period where the West opened up, and they got to see what capitalism was like, and they got to taste freedom. And I can't think of anything that would be more painful than to see the benefits of capitalism and freedom and then have it all taken away from you by some piece of shit. Winnie the Pooh motherfucker. Anyway, that's if you guys are playing micro macro bingo, that is my China segment, so you should have that checked off. All right, OPFI. Woo, this thing got smoked. Woo, got smoked. Did we look at this the other day? Massive drop in revenue. Losing net income. Debts are high. Got some bonds recently. Shares are weird. Nothing too interesting there. Estimates. Can you do PACB? I will try and do that. For anybody who's tipping here, I will try and at least get to you before I stop here. Because there's so many people on the list, it's hard to keep up anymore. So if I don't get you from one session to the next, just go in here at the beginning when I publish this thing at the beginning of the day and put your comment in early so I can get you on the next day, okay? Thank you for all the members. My God, this is blowing my mind. How quickly this group is growing. It's kind of nuts, man. Anyway, so these guys are selling a bunch. I hate that too, right? So their revenues plummeted. Insiders are selling out of the stock. Short interest is low. I don't know what to make out of this. There's things going on here that I can't see, right? Institutional ownership is increasing, but insiders are selling. Revenues plummeted, but they're going to get better. We might tick back up again, but is this company really growing? Like, are they growing? I mean, outside of 2023, it looks like they were. What is this? Software application. Okay, so I don't know what they do. I don't love this. Could it be something that's good later on? Maybe. I need to know more why. All right, you're not allowed to watch the Matterport video until you're done here. Just to be clear, expand. Kidding. I mean, but yeah. Dustin, love the, hey, I could be wrong. No offense. Nope, it's shit. I hate it. Yes, sorry. If that was yours, I'm sorry. If you're just laughing at my comments, I mean, they are pretty ridiculous. So, got to join you and crushing it for us. All right, thanks, James. Appreciate it, man. All right, so let's see here. OPFI, we did. Peter became a member. Thanks, dude. Wild Frenchie. Bonjour, spread the love, cheers. I love you, Frenchie. You're great, man. Wild Frenchie, to be clear. Connor, 15K subs by Easter. I have hope, man. Here's the deal. 3 months ago, I had like 1,000 subs or less. Today, I have over 13,000. So I'm just grateful. But yeah, maybe that, maybe more. I don't know. It's hard to keep up nowadays. I'm trying not to do collabs too much. I mean, I should be, right? Like I should be collabing with a bunch of people, but I just get tired. I like this market recap format. I like doing due diligence on some stocks. Collabs are okay every once in a while, but I'm extroverted in some ways and introverted in others, and it's like I almost don't want to grow too fast, but I want to grow. I'm just conflicted, man. Freaking conflicted. I love growing, but I also kind of love the size that we're at. It's weird. But I will say this. As we grow, it will help support me. And again, the channel can be better. The due diligence will be better. The audience will grow. And it should magnify whatever value I can provide. And hopefully it just gets better and better. Albert. I'm not going to say your last name, Albert. I don't want to do that to you. Holy crap, I had no idea TradingView has this. I didn't either. I mean, I forgot. There are so many things. TradingView is probably going to be a sponsor again this year. They gave me like a free year of TradingView Premium last time, which is great because I love their products so much. And I spend so much on TradingView, getting a bunch of different add-ons and trying to get more timely tickers and get it to where, again, the volume profile, this visible range volume profile, I get that because I'm subscribed to Premium. So like there's a bunch of extra stuff I pay for to give you guys, the best of the best and the most timely information. But they're great. I love them. And I find that there's just endless amounts of really cool stuff. Like again, your portfolios and the watch list that you put in, you can actually look in here and then you can create them for like mining, energy, all this other stuff. And then you can select them and then you can see how they perform over periods of time and see which ones are outperforming by the day. Like there's so many cool things. And then again, there's price, there's financials you can do. Not that applies to crypto, but you can compare financials between them. There's so many things in here, guys. TradingView has so much stuff. It's endless. By far my favorite platform. By far. TNA leaps on the Russell are breaking out. That's interesting. I don't know. The leaps, I imagine, maybe get you 2x what TNA can do. In which case, which one is it? Is TNA the 3x multiplier? Is that the leap one? Maybe it is, right? Maybe that's what you're talking about. I can't remember which. Yeah, no, I think that is the 3x, isn't it? That's great if it breaks out. Small caps are going to do good. Yeah, this is the 3x small cap. So we haven't broken out, but we are at the 200. Oh, no, we did. You're right. We broke out of the 200. That is pretty. That's pretty. So this one could maybe get you 110, 120% based upon Tom Lee's projections, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. I think you could get, at the very least, you could get up to the 80s. But there's other stuff I like. I'm a stock picker at heart. But yeah, Daryl, that's not too bad. Smokey, Hood was just down. Like the app. Oh, okay. I mean, that's bad timing. Or it's fucking brilliant. I mean, think about this. Is it down because demand is through the roof and well above expectations? That would be cool. And the stock doesn't appear to be doing bad at all. So it's fine. It's actually up in after hours. So I'm not too worried about it. Sean, Arkham Vault. That's pretty cool, actually. I feel like you're like related to Batman. Arkham Asylum shit or something. Signed up for gold today and waiting on the card. That's awesome. Hopefully you did it under my link so that I can get the actual gold card, guys. I don't really care about gold much, but I think it would be really badass if I had a gold Robinhood card. It's like 32 grams of gold. Even if it's like the shitty version of gold. Low carat. I don't care. I just think that would be fun. So if you guys want to give me some fun, and then I'll definitely reveal it when I get it, I need 10 people to sign up for gold under my link on X, which you will find. It's near the top. I'll keep putting it up there. I don't even know how to tell if I've got 10 people. That's probably brilliant of them. Maybe I'll have 100, and then I'll finally find out that I get the gold thing. I don't know. But I need 10. So hook me up, please. Please, please, please. All right. Dustin Barnes, IYW. How does this fare? Love your content. Definitely addicted to investing because of you. That's so cool, dude. If there's anything I can do, if I get people interested in investing, I would like everybody to make a bunch of money. That is the goal. And then to learn as much as they can about the investment world. But if at the very least, what I can do is ignite a fire under you to invest, especially if you're young, you have to. And us older fogies, we need to be good at managing our money too, because times are a little scarier than they've been for a while. And that can be a great wealth building experience. It can also be shit. So, got to do it right. All right, so this is a fun technology ETF from iShares. That's interesting. It's got a dividend. I don't hate dividends. Dividend percentage, what is that? Does it say in here? Exposure type. Oh, dividend yield, 0.22%. Not crazy, right? Really tiny dividend. It's in tech, though, and it's done really well. I don't know. Kind of bored with this one. I will do this, though. I will draw a fib for you. Again, I don't do this kind of stuff because this bores me. I feel like I'm a good stock picker. I mean, history tells me I am, without being too cocky. I'm kind of cocky. But at least I tell you that. At least you know. All right, so we back tested. This is probably going to go higher because I think the entire market's going to go higher. But here's the deal. Like, is 150 going to be a lot higher? Is 186 going to be a lot higher? No, man. Own Tesla. Own technology companies that are just going to scream. Own Bitcoin, actually, above all this. That's my take on it. But I love that you're excited about this stuff, man. I really do. Keep that. Hold on to it. Even if you lose money, don't do what I did. I lost a ton of money. Well, I watched my dad lose money in the dot-com bubble, and I learned a lot, and I was kind of hooked. And in 2008, actually 2007 to 2008, I got really interested, but I got interested in options, and I didn't even know how they worked. I didn't know what theta decay was. I didn't know extrinsic and intrinsic value. I didn't know IV levels. I didn't know anything, man. I didn't know anything. And I was 100% long, and I took out credit card debt for it, and I just got fucked. And then I didn't touch investing for like, I guess 8 years, really, until my dad got me interested again. He got me interested in Bitcoin. Of all people, my dad did. He's the reason. I mean, if he wouldn't have got me interested, I was kind of interested in Tesla. Maybe I still would have found my way, but man, that definitely set me down a path that I'm forever grateful for. And I help out my family now. They don't have to work anymore, so I've hopefully paid all that back. Jingo, Robinhood, just attacking another wildly lucrative vertical with credit cards. Yes. Yeah. They're so bullish, dude. You're right. Connor, bought more 15 January 2025 calls today for SoFi short squeeze. I hope we get one, man. I'm not buying any more calls for SoFi. Again, I do think that the move is up, but January just feels too close to me. But I'm gonna ride that bitch till at least like 12. I'm gonna ride it to 12. I do think we get a bounce. It's just I don't like the fact that what Hood brought out recently. It just really seems like it's gonna be more difficult for SoFi. You know, they're gonna be taking some of the customers that were like SoFi are gonna be like Hood. That's my take. Even though I love SoFi, I still use SoFi, man. All right, what do we got here? LW Crypto on the Hood program for the card. Is there also travel points? It's different. No, you get 3% cash back, and if you book travel through them, you get 5% cash back on the book travel, and you get all of the other things like concierge service, protection. You get all the things, right? So it's a great credit card. I don't know of any credit cards that will give you 3% across everything and then 5% against book travel and then have all the bells and the whistles and then look cool. A metal card is pretty cool, in my opinion, and it's more durable than a regular credit card. And then you have the virtual card, you have the built-in app, you have the family management software. So much fucking cool shit. The private cards, being able to be a John Doe and subscribe to some service, but maybe you like don't want your information out there. I'm using a bunch of stuff like that right now too to get rid of my online persona, because the more people see you, there's weird fucking people out there. There's attack vectors that grow. So like I'm using something called Delete Me for that. But you want to be more private. Like you want to be safe. You don't want to have like telemarketers calling you. You don't want to have people trying to fucking scam you. You don't want a bunch of email spam. You don't want, all this shit. And so like all the stuff they're doing, Robinhood is smart, dude. They're smart. That was really well presented yesterday. I don't think that Amit was just sucking off of Vlad's tits yesterday. He might have wanted to because he seemed very excited. I'm kidding, Amit, if you're watching this. But he's spot on, man. It's just great. What's not to love? Thank you, Arnie, for originally getting me interested in Hood last March. And then me going pretty deep May, June, July, and since. All right, Jingo again. Yo, we got to look at coin after the FUD assault they weathered today. Yeah, no, they did great. And that SEC stuff was bullshit. Bob Tag, hi Jesse, and I already looked at coin, so I'm not doing it right now, just to be clear. Hi Jesse, I'm a new member, joined yesterday. Can you review MSTR? I already did that. Looking great, ready for 2,300. Paul Milligan, bought 3,000 shares for a start. I don't know what you bought, Paul, but I hope it treats you well. Oh, maybe Matterport. Probably talking Matterport. Cool. Dustin P11. I wonder if Matterport does well enough after it recovers, if it could do a dividend. Probably not. They're a SaaS company, man. They're going to try and grow. So I don't think so. 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully it's 10,000 members. That would be a crazy number. I can't even imagine. I could definitely hire a couple of people if that happened. And just have them devoted to all the things I don't want to do. Video editing and all kinds of cool stuff. Get some cool animations. Get a research team going. That would be fun. All right. Anyway, Alberto, how do you see BITF panning out given the recency? So I left them because of the CEO issues, but that was part of my reasoning. I also wanted cash, which I'm happy about. And Bitfarms hasn't really performed too well since. So I think I'm still like in the money. But I think that they could catch up. I think they could still do all right. It's not a play that I'm interested in right now, though. But like I said, I think CleanSpark, I think Cypher, maybe even Mara. I still own like that 8,000 in Mara. I just don't like them. Once my friend Bob started to talk about like the ethics of the way they do Slipstream and other stuff, it concerns me, and I'm just can't partake in that in a big way. Maybe I buy it for like an arbitrage play, but I do think that like again, CleanSpark, Cypher, maybe Mara tend to outperform. If there was anything that I would buy into, if they really outperform and do really well in the next year, or maybe like in 3-6 months from now, they've really outpaced Bitfarms, but Bitfarms looks okay. It just hasn't gotten the narrative yet. Then maybe I buy it and into Bitfarms again. But I'd rather be in best of breed. So that's kind of my thought process. That's why I'm in CleanSpark and Cypher. I want to be best of breed because they lead. And then later you can decide if you want to pick up laggards. That's kind of my 2 cents. PayPal, I already did. PayPal looks great, in my opinion. It took a break today, but it still looks great. Thank you, Siraj. I'll try and look at that too before I go. Igor, can you please look at EXAS or EXAS? Share your thoughts. Sure. Would I add to Hood calls right now? I don't know. If they went down for any reason, I would. But I've already made so much money off of Hood. I'm up like 650% right now on what I hold for Hood, right? Let's look here. What do we got? Let me see here. Hood is at 627% in this account. And then I've got another one that's doing really good. So I've got like over 250,000, maybe 300,000 in Hood right now. And I think it could turn into 1,200% gains. So am I buying more? No, not me. There's not much point. Anyway, EXAS. I think I've already done that one. So let me just see if I have. Nope. Okay. Don't have it. Oh, can't wait to get a site in here. I need to have somebody that just manages all this stuff so I don't have to do things. Because I am lazy. I am all about the easy button. Ask anybody who ever worked with me. They will tell you. Also had to take a lot of naps, but that could be because of the GERD and gastroparesis, it turns out. Gotta take care of your body, guys. Gotta take care of your body. All right, so this is Exact Science Corporation. It is a $12 billion company. They tend to hit earnings at least since 2022. And we're going to look at their financials real quick and see what they are. Is this one that ARCG is invested in? I feel like it might be. Maybe not. Maybe it's too big. 4% short interest. Tons of institutional ownership, including JP Morgan actually beating Vanguard and BlackRock. That's kind of interesting. Massive debt. Losing tons of money. Starting to get better. Revenue is starting to build. Let's look at estimates, though. Estimates are growing. Still losing revenue. Share dilution. Not horrible share dilution. Not horrible revenue loss. But it's a $12 billion company. Buying back more than selling for insiders. We like that. Slight uptick in institutional ownership. Short interest going down. Oh, ratios. Revenue per employee is up to $380,000. I mean, that's okay. Stock-based comp is 9% of revenue, so they're still paying themselves quite nicely. I think they should reduce their pay and get profitable. 17% revenue growth, though, is okay. It's the valuation I struggle with. This is a $12 billion company. Seems to me that it could take a dump and shit itself, just like it did in March or just like it did over here in October of 2022. That's my take on that one. Later, I might draw a fib or something if I get more interested, if we look at it again. But I would like to see this company pushing towards profitability and more revenue growth, or hear a great story about how it's going to get a lot better. Great sound, awesome. Thoughts on PNAW? I don't have much. I can pull it up real quick. This is the Nancy Pelosi, is what I call it. Just because she bought, I guess, and that makes it Nancy Pelosi. I mean, these guys got excessively hurt on earnings, I think. I don't like this, though. It looks like it actually wants to go down further. Looks like it wants to go to the 250 range. Because, I mean, boom, boom, boom. It's almost like a descending triangle, except it's like you're drawing it here. Or a pennant, a bearish pennant, before it drops down to the next leg at the 247 range, 250 range. That's peak volume anyway. So I would be more interested in this company. Maybe like down here in the 250s. I'll set an alert. But it's a $91 billion company. And if I remember correctly, I mean, they're not that bad. And I think their forward guidance isn't too horrible. They just had a bad quarter. There's some weird one time here, so ignore the net income. But like their revenue growth is pretty consistent, 19% year over year. And it looks like revenue EPS is going to continue to grow outside of this weird anomaly. And so it looks good. It just like took a beating, and I don't know what part of the guidance people didn't like. I don't like that their insiders are selling more than they're buying. Institutional ownership is flat. Short interest is going down. That's a positive. They're making more per employee, 509,000. That's a better number. There's a lot of other metrics I don't pay much attention to for ratios because I just don't know how much they matter to me. And their shares are going down, and I don't know if that's because of a stock split or a reverse stock split. No, it doesn't look like it. So maybe they did a buyback. But, oh, sorry, over here. No, they did a reverse stock split. Okay. But that was in, when was that? September 2022. So that was a while ago. That was back over here. So, yeah, no, so they haven't done that in a while. So they must have bought back shares or something. But I think they could drop further. As much as I trust Nancy Pelosi with my investment advice, I think it can go lower. Sound is good. Sound is good. Sweet. Sound is good now and also in previous videos. Okay, cool. I have a lotto play. I think it's probably better, I hope. All right, I'm going to look up EFTR. And then I might stop. What time is it? I might stop after that just because we're getting closer to 4:30. I've been going for an hour and a half right around then. EFTR, do I have that one? No, okay. And but I'm going to move on to people that tipped. So I will do that in a second here. So I'm going to end it after this one. And then I'm going to move on to people that tipped. just because I want to make sure that, I mean, if you're throwing in extra money to the pot for me to get to it, it's probably something I should try and finish with. Ooh, what was that? Let me fix that. I have like 200 windows open all the time, so shit crashes. Sucks. Evidently 128 gig of memory, and one of the finest processors you can buy. It does not fix all that. Effector Therapeutics. So you said a lottery ticket. It does look like a bottoming pattern. Just at a glance, it looks very bottomy. They did the reverse split already. It was a 1 to 25. Woof. Interesting. Just any money, no money. Yeah, I don't care. Again, this is why I have ArcG. I've got an asymmetric opportunity with ArcG, and I don't need to pay attention to all these fucking shitty companies that don't make any money. That's my take on that one. Okay. All right. Looking for tips now, and then definitely. Oh, here we go. There's some. Anonymous, can you do PACB? Yes, I can. Oh, did I miss one? Oh no, that was you two. Okay, PACB. Let me look. All right. Oh, you bastards sneaking in more tips. All right. Well, I won't complain too much yet. All right, let me see here. Make a copy. PACB. Oh, Siraj too. I gotta get it to Siraj. PACB. All right. Pacific Bioscience. You guys and your money losing stocks. You just love them. But you know, some of these will turn into lottery tickets. So, but I just like to play the odds. So, all right. So this one's shit the bed a bunch, right? Oh, okay. All right, so the revenue's going up on this one, but again, they can't make money. How much is this stock? They're diluting shares still. Op expenses aren't getting worse, but let's look at what we have. Revenues are going to be up, but still they can't make money. Institutional ownership is growing, and they're buying it, actually. Short interest is increasing, though. 18% is a lot. Interesting. Stock-based comp is 28%. So, like, this is a company where if they just lowered stock-based comps significantly, they might actually be able to make some money. But now they're burning $82 million a quarter, and they're a billion-dollar company, and their cash is going away, their bonds are going away, and their debt is not enough. But it looks like they're trying. It's better than that other shit, man. Here's the deal. If you keep following this and you find that guidance gets better on a quarterly earnings call or something, I might be interested in this one. I might, because again, it's at 370. Actually, you know, I'm going to look at this one. You got me interested. I do not like to get into biotech genomic shit. I will see if Kathy's got this one on her list already, because that will just make me feel more confident about ArcG, if they have a decent allocation to this potentially. But I'm gonna look at this one. I'm interested. I'm interested enough just in the amount. I mean, it dropped from 56 to 374. It could go lower, but it might find support. If this drops any further, like I'm gonna call it right here at the $3 range, then I'm getting more interested in learning about this company. Let me see. I can't scroll too much because I missed tips. Siraj, Misty, okay. Fubo. I can look at Fubo, but you're not going to like my response. But I will do it for you, sir. All right, so Misty. Let's pull up Misty. And my response is pretty much always the same on Fubo. And maybe it's getting better. Maybe I'll be wrong. Here's the thing, though. I actually invested in Fubo. And I used the product. I went from YouTube TV, and I used the product because that's what I do, right? Like, I can't be invested in something if I don't have the product and I don't know how it works. So I've got PayPal and Venmo, and I've got SoFi, and I've got Robinhood app, and I got all the things that I invest in, right? Got a Tesla, right? Invested in Tesla. So I like to use the products so I understand them. And the thing is, the product wasn't that great. It was okay. Like, it wasn't horrible. Is this it? Is it titled Trust? Is that what Misty is? What is this? It's a, MicroStrategy option income strategy. I don't know how this is constructed, so I can't say anything about it. But here's what I would tell you. I would just invest in MicroStrategy. Can you unblock me? Oh, I didn't know I had you blocked. God, man, how many fucking people do I block? You got to tell me in the comments what your actual ID is on X, and then yes, I can. Gotta stop blocking people. I mean, it is increasing my income, but I feel bad. I don't want to block people that are paying me and that are supporting me. So I'm sorry, man. Pelosi put a big play on Palo Alto. Yeah, I know. That's why I call it the Pelosi one. But again, I don't know if it's worth it. Tony Silva, welcome. Okay, all right. So I think I got through the tips. Did I get? Oh, there was another one. T-Rex. Yeah. Oh, that was the unblock me one. Okay. So yeah, I will do that. You throw in the chat. Oh, is it T-Rex stocks on X too? Okay, I'll get in there. I'll unblock you. I'll do it right after I'm done here. So anyway, I think I'm done for now. Oh, Fubo. I said I was going to do Fubo. I didn't do Fubo. I said I was going to. Let me do that real quick. My bad. Maybe I missed a couple. Did I miss any others? Can you look at Fubo? No, that was you. Okay, no, I think I'm good. All right, cool. Somebody retracted their membership already. I must have shit on their stock, huh? Sorry, whoever you were, mystery person. It looks like a bottoming pattern, but there's this thing about Fubo. It's this. It's just fucking this. And then they have problems because there's something with like the sports leagues. I can't remember which one specifically. Not being fair and competitive. Maybe it was ESPN or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so this is a shit show. This is a shit show. Look at the volume profile, just because this thing was at, let's not even look at that. Let's get past that range because that's not even real. Let's start over here in like 2020-ish range. This thing was at $64. Now it's $1.56. So already not starting off great, right? It's a $467 million company, which means people are just expecting it to fail. And I know Jeremy was pushing this one. Again, I had hope for it too. Their revenue's up. Let's look at estimates. Estimates are like, and they're not losing as much money as they were. But they're losing $70 million a quarter. And they have no cash. They've got 245, right? So they've got like what, four quarters of a runway, and then they're gonna have to dilute the shit out of you, or they're gonna go bankrupt. I don't know. That doesn't interest me. Rex stocks. All right, yeah, I got you, Rex. Sorry for blocking you, man. I don't know why I did. Sometimes I get moody, kind of bitchy. And also too, if I think anybody's being negative and I don't know who they are, I just purge that shit. So I could be perceiving something completely wrong. It's just like, I don't want to have like, there's so much, if you don't understand this, if your account's not big enough, there are some really shitty people out there. And you just can't deal with that shit all the time. You know what I mean? And so it's just easier to purge it. And then I can always add you guys back if I get the wrong person. So anyway, if you care enough. Some people don't care, which is fine. All right, so I think I'm done, and I appreciate you guys for coming today, and we will pick this up again tomorrow. And thank you for everybody that, again, is participating. No bueno, Fubo. Again, yeah, that's kind of my take, man. I think it's just going to... What did you say? Warner, ESPN, Fox launching new sports streaming service. Yeah, so they're going to fuck them. Yeah, so, again, I just don't think Fubo... in my personal experience... again, very comparable to YouTube TV, and YouTube TV picture-in-picture works where Fubo's didn't. So if I was walking around with my phone and I wanted to listen to like CNBC live, I couldn't do that. So anyway, all right, well, I'll get you blocked right after this, T-Rex. Or unblocked, not blocked. I won't block you, I promise. But yeah, so if you guys could like, subscribe, and at the end, if you can throw in comments, it helps my channel, and I appreciate all the help. But you guys have done a hell of a lot of help in the last couple of days anyway, so maybe I should leave you alone. Thank you all. I love you guys. I love the support. If there are ways that I can improve, let me know. Just don't talk shit and just be nice to me, and you don't have to worry about getting the boot. Anyway, I love you guys. You take it easy.